see everyone on day 3.
10:15 Roman, time for the 5 things you need to know for Tuesday, December 3rd. Warring reports from House Democrats and Republicans as the GOP move to get its version of events out ahead of the Democrats' impeachment inquiry report. That comes out today. The House Intelligence Committee will vote on the report today as well. Yesterday, Republicans released a rebuttal report that firmly defended President Trump's actions in the Ukraine affair.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Randy Cotton and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've handled all covers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Smart lighting control that works with more smart home products than any other smart lighting brand.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. As we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard, fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now Rosen, caught, right side, Gresham. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Middle and elementary schools will be back in session.
And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
And how about wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald? Back for his 15th NFL season. This is not a ceremonial appearance. He had 109 catches last season. He will help the new quarterback of the Cardinals become better right away.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
And Eldora Ski Resort hopes to have all of its lifts back up and running today after extremely strong winds.
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action or stick something to him between the 2nd and the 3rd.
Pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The first 24 points of the second half. Shotgun snap, drops back.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and the line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Russell Wilson, 60 yards to David Moore. 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year. He got to the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously it was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, but I love just how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated.
Got pick up there, 26 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends are creating so many tight matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker,
Scandal at Georgetown. One player accused of sexual assault. 2 others received restraining orders accused of harassment and burglary. One of the players, Joshua Blank, has left the school, and so is James Akinjo, who was not mentioned in this play. He was the Big East top freshman last year, and was the
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability, as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well
the Denver
coached,
Post
and
daily
extremely
briefing will be
confident
on
in what they do.
hiatus starting November 28th. We will be back with you soon. For the latest headlines, visit denverpost.com.
Here's Prater now set to kick it
Sky
away.
News at 7:56 a.m. today.
On the Sky News Center at 3. Donald Trump has promised to stay out of next week's general election, while also saying that Boris Johnson will do a very good job if the Conservatives win a majority. The US President, who's here for a NATO summit, has also dismissed Labour suggestions that he wants to make money from the NHS.
I don't even know where that room is going. We have absolutely nothing to do with it. We wouldn't want to if you handed it to us on a silver platter. We want nothing to do with it.
Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has asked Mr. Trump for reassurances that US pharmaceutical companies will not try to push up drug prices here. Flowers have been left at the school in Essex, where a 12-year-old boy was killed in a hit-and-run yesterday afternoon. A 51-year-old man's in custody on suspicion of murder. Ofcom has rejected a complaint from the Conservatives after Channel 4 used an ice sculpture instead of Boris Johnson in a debate about climate change last week. The media regulator says broadcasters have editorial freedom over debate formats. Climate activist Greta Thunberg has arrived by yacht in Lisbon after a 3-week voyage across the Atlantic Ocean from the United States. The Swedish teenager who refuses to travel by plane says she'll be heading to Madrid in the next few days, where a global climate summit is taking place.
What we are saying is for them to unite behind science, to listen to science.
We asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they like these measurables, otherwise they would have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his,
because of a strike. Staff at the Barton Distribution Centre in Staffordshire have got to walk out 16 days in a row over pay.
Really?
And Ed Sheeran, Post Malone and Ariana Grande have been named as the most streamed artists on Spotify in the UK this year. The most popular track of all in 2019 was Someone You Love by Lewis Capaldi. That's the latest.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. These two teams, they met up in the opener a season ago in Detroit, and it was the Lions who came out on top 35-23. Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdown passes in that game, 2 to rookie Kenny Galladay.
Police Chief Russell Jackson, the high school student, has been hospitalized. U.S. President Donald Trump
On second down, Johnson, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Anti-government protests in Hong Kong. Beijing is suspending U.S. Navy visits to Hong Kong and will introduce sanctions against several
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Myles Garrett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
From Fox News at 7:07 a.m. today.
And they're not going to get a playoff here as time
He claims
will
Republicans have never been more united.
7-0 is our score.
Fox
EA
News.
Sports
I think it's a
NFL
bad thing
Sunday
for our country.
returns.
Impeachment wasn't supposed to be used that way.
President Trump taking shots at Democrats from across the pond. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
President Trump blasting House Democrats for holding impeachment hearings while he's at a NATO summit in London.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a first
The White House said it would not participate in tomorrow's Judiciary Committee hearing, although the administration left open the possibility it might take part in future hearings, which the president has called a hoax.
And the president insists he did nothing wrong in the Ukraine controversy. Adam Schiff, the Democrat who heads up the Intel Committee, which will vote on the report later today, then send it over to the Judiciary Committee, tells MSNBC.
We also feel a sense of urgency. This is a president who has sought for intervention in U.S. elections twice now.
Now back to the NATO gathering.
The president criticizing French President Emmanuel Macron for saying NATO is suffering brain damage.
You just can't go around making statements like that about NATO. It's very disrespectful.
Macron's comments causing a stir among NATO leaders here.
Fox's Simon Owen in London. The two presidents are scheduled to meet later this hour. A Republican may soon go from an office at the Capitol to a cell in a prison. Congressman Duncan Hunter, who changes plea today in court in California to guilty, could face up to 14 months in his sentence.
Hunter is accused of misusing campaign funds for a lavish lifestyle. He says he'll accept his punishment, but hopes his wife, Margaret, who took a plea deal, does not go to jail. He says she should be home for their kids.
Fox's journalist Scott. Someone could have been filthy rich in Arizona and never knew it. Time turned out to turn in a winning lottery ticket worth $14.6 million. Whoever bought that ticket failed to claim the money by estimated deadline. America's listening to Fox.
If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know your business, that's the problem growing businesses have because of a hodgepodge of business systems. One for accounting, another for sales, another for inventory. If that's you, you know it's a mess that takes up too much time and too many resources. And that hurts the bottom line. You need NetSuite by Oracle, the cloud-based business management software that gives you the visibility and control you need to grow. With NetSuite, you save time, money, and unneeded headaches by managing sales, finance and accounting, orders, and HR instantly from your desktop or phone. That's why NetSuite is the world's #1 cloud business system. Companies that use NetSuite grow 3 times faster than the S&P 500. Right now, NetSuite is offering you valuable insights with a free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits at netsuite.com/Fox. That's netsuite.com/Fox to download your free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits. netsuite.com/Fox.
While in London, President Trump at the NATO gathering also commented on the trade dispute with China. He likes the tariffs coming in, so I think it's so much better that we are after the cash. The U.S. is also threatening new tariffs on French products, including cheese and champagne. On top of the new tariffs in place now on steel and aluminum coming in from Brazil and Argentina. And on Wall Street, selling may continue this morning. Dow futures down nearly 300 the day after a 268-point Dow plunge. Some condemned prisoners on federal death row have borrowed more time. The federal appeals court Monday rejected the Justice Department motion to let the execution of 4 men convicted of murdering children proceed. Instead, upholding an earlier stay, blocking them. Inmates argue the federal single drug lethal injection protocol violate the federal death penalty statute because it may not precisely match the protocol of the states where the death penalty crimes were committed. Justice Department will tell the Supreme Court that law only requires the federal government to use the same manner of execution, such as electrocution or lethal injection, but not the precise method. Justice John Roberts expected to ask the attorneys to file expedited briefs for the full court to consider. Fox News. Crackdown on vaping is going beyond states like Massachusetts and cities like New York banning flavored cigarettes.
More than 500,000 marijuana vape cartridges have been seized by law enforcement officers nationwide over the past 2 years. In that same time period, more than 120 people have been arrested in connection. That's according to an Associated Press tally derived from interviews, court records, news accounts, and official releases. It comes amid alarm over a deadly lung illness that has been linked to THC vaping.
See, that's why people are dying.
Nearly 2,300 cases of those lung injuries, 47 deaths. I'm Davey Uppany. This is Fox News.
How about right there? He ran right through that weak
This
tackle
news
attempt.
report is brought to you by NetSuite by Oracle, the cloud-based business management software that gives you the visibility and control you need to grow. NetSuite is offering their free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits at netsuite.com/fox.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
President Trump said he would impose tariffs on steel and aluminum from Brazil and Argentina. A move that would destroy previous agreements with both
looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jordan Reed with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0.
President Trump's re-election campaign said it would block reporters.
Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions.
After Bloomberg News said it would stop investigating the...
Here's Prater now set to kick it away.
Bloomberg News, which was owned by Michael Bloomberg.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline.
Democratic presidential candidate.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Johnson on the counter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Jared Goff. 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten.
9-4 Rams. 9-4 Rams.
To Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Blake Bortles, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Aaron Rodgers leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky who's looked sharp thus far. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And along with the rest of his offense, here comes Jordan Reed now. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, partner.
And defenses have worked so hard at how to try to slow down tight ends. It was a lot easier, partner, in the old days because they just lined up on the line of scrimmage, either put a defensive end or a linebacker over them, and tried to body them so they couldn't get off the line of scrimmage easy.
And now?
Now, when they split out, detach from the line of scrimmage, you put a linebacker out there, they're often too elusive for them. Shake them and get into the secondary too easily before someone else can try and pick them up.
This one left side caught by Barrios. Touchdown, Detroit! 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 21-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now a handoff, Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Rosen to throw, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's caught inside the 35. Touchdown!
4 touchdown passes for Mitchell Trubisky in this game.
81 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Johnson, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On second down, here's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. Oh, what a juke into space. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Rosen. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open.
This is intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And now running right through it. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Detroit. Braxton Berrios, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Lions have got it on cruise control.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And now it's Rosen looking. Open man is Kirk, complete. They will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
I don't think that's going to happen.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. A spin. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to... And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Screen play, Johnson. He finds an opening past the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Rosen on 1st and 10. He gets it left side of Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Lions have recovered.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
This is McCaffrey on the give. Oh, what a move. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On second down, Elliott. Oh, eluding the tackle. He's to the 10. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Lions, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.